Alignment is all about capacity. You either have built and cultivated it or you haven't. There are no steps to skip when it comes to alignment. Hi, I am naomiolutayo, and I partner with spiritual Black women founders to realign their brands to mirror the vision that God has given them. I share more founder activation strategies and revelations in my email list down below, letters from my living room. I would love for you to subscribe. If this video piques your interest or resonates with you deeply, then my letters will definitely be a great addition to your weekly routine. Anyways, let's get started for today's video. When you build a bridge that isn't strong enough, what happens? It collapses under the weight of itself. When you pull back a rubber band too far, you know those elastic bands? If you keep pulling and pulling and pulling, what happens? It snaps. So why do we think that we can jump headfirst into the materialization of God's vision, the vision that God has given you, that has been passed down ancestrally to us, and we were the chosen ones to bring it about? Why do we think that we can just jump into it without first calibrating ourselves to the capacity to hold it? And that looks like kind of just, like I said, jumping in. It looks like not preparing yourself or even trying to skip steps. I know for me, God first started to speak to me about the vision for this business when I was 19 years old. I had no self-esteem. I was very insecure, and I did not believe in myself. And I also was deep in survival mind, right? So the culmination of that and seeing how big this vision that God has given me, I couldn't hold it. I didn't have the capacity for it. So I tried to skip steps because I was broke and I was like, I need money today. So, if I have the vision, let me just make money off of it, right? I tried to extract and milk from it. I couldn't really hold it. And I know a lot of founders have done something similar, except they got way farther than I ever did. A lot of them are making millions. A lot of you are making millions. A lot of you have offices, warehouses, a whole team and staff. And the lack of capacity is showing through how unsustainable this is. It's showing in how unsafe you feel to even rest because you're afraid of being broke again. It shows in how little you believe that you deserve or you're worthy of goodness, of how little pleasure you have in your life. For me, my survival mind wouldn't allow me to make aligned choices. So I would see my vision and I would bargain with myself and say like, okay, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to do this because I can make money faster. A lot of us have done the same, and we have taken our companies off of this trajectory of the vision that God has given us. For me though, every single thing I tried to build always came crashing down, always. I would get somewhere, I remember my first client, a $6,000 client, and literally they couldn't pay me anymore. Months later, they just couldn't pay me anymore because they had a payment plan, which I didn't even believe I was worthy of receiving the full $6,000 at the time. They couldn't pay me anymore. I would remember I would get somewhere and things were looking up for me, and then just complete collapse. And I just couldn't understand why. I just couldn't understand why is it so hard to do anything? Didn't you give me this vision, God? Didn't you say I can just do this? Didn't you say I should be doing this? So I'm doing it, right? And this is what he had to say to me. He said, Naomi, you can't build on dead bodies. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? So he gave me a visual. There was a creator on here a long time ago who talked about this, but God just expounded on it, and I'm not going to remember her, but if she ever watches this, thank you for sharing, because I've been using this analogy to navigate my own process for a long time. But essentially, what God expounded on off of what he revealed to her is that when you're building a house, and there's a bunch of dead bodies underneath it, those dead bodies don't go away. Okay, think of how wrong it is to build on Native American land, the whole of the U.S. is made, right? It's similar to that. The dead bodies under the foundation of your house could be grief, it could be survival mind, guilt, shame, all the things that you're building on top of. Those are the dead bodies. And you may be building the house and you might be decorating the house, but if the foundation is weak because it was built out of those negative things, that it doesn't matter how pretty the house is, the likelihood of it falling is always high. And so he told me, he said, to build the house that we're co-creating together, you need to clear the dead bodies, honor yourself, all the things that had to die for you to get here, and then rebuild. The foundation has to be cleared. So when you're building from heaven, when you're building something that was given to you ancestrally, given from source, whatever, the foundation is built within. That's why I say the dead bodies are survival mind, guilt, shame, proving yourself, etc., etc. Because it doesn't matter how much money you make, it doesn't matter how many accolades you receive that prove that what you're doing is working. The structural integrity will always be weak until the foundation within is strong. For me, I didn't realize, God gave me this revelation when I was like maybe 19, 20. So it's been a long time, right? So I didn't realize like how much was underneath the foundation that I kept trying to build on. And for me, God would not let me build on anything outside of what was ordained for me. And so for my story is a little bit different than a lot of yours, but I just didn't realize how much there was. Like I assumed like, okay, well, as long as I commit to this, like it's fine, right? The biggest dead body for me was grief. Like from the moment I was given this vision to me being thrusted into the process of carrying it out and just my awareness of it all, I was grieving. I literally went through the 5 stages of grief. I always tell founders, like, this is not, you're not here to just build something. You're here to change things. Like, you're the very blueprints of this brand that you have is going to challenge the foundations of everything this country, this world is built on. That is no small thing. It's not. And the wealth and also the generational impact that you're meant to have is huge. That requires so much of you. And for me, one day I'll share more of, I guess, that vision and what God shared with me. But I mean, the 19-year-old who was hearing all of this and committing to all of this, it was a lot. It was a lot because I was so nearsighted. Like, I was like, well, what about college? What about everything else? Or what about, you know what I mean? Like, I was grieving. I literally went through the 5 stages of grief because it's a lot. It requires so much of you. So the first stage of grief, denial. I was in denial about it. I was like, I don't have to do this, or I don't have to go through all this process. I didn't know what the process was, but I intuitively understood like what it was requiring of me. I had to tear down everything, like everything I built my life on up until that point, all the dreams, all the aspirations I had, all the ways I wanted to prove myself, all the ways I wanted to, I guess, mask my way through life. I had to put those down, and I was in denial about it. I was like, I can do this with my mask. I can do this while still living this life. I can do this while, holding on to certain things that really were in direct contradiction to my alignment, right? And then came anger. I was angry because I felt like what was required of me was just too much. Like, it was just too big. I was like, I don't want to say the word too big because I feel like that's kind of like dismissing what it is. I don't know, I was just angry. Like, I was just angry. I was angry because I just didn't feel like it was fair. When you're building something that God has given you, when you're building something where you know that your impact is large, you can't operate in the same way. Like, the process is different. It's different than when you just say like, oh, I want to make a life for myself and have enough to survive. It's different. You can't be the same. Like, alignment requires your actualization. It's not the same. So I was angry about it. And then I started to bargain, and I was like, okay, well, let me just make these 1-2 offers. Let me just sell a couple of, I had a haircut brand at the time. I was like, let me just sell at least like 1,000 bottles and I can make enough money for this. So you know what I mean? Like, I just started bargaining and thinking I can like skip steps, but it never worked that way. And then the depression hit, and I had to really sit in the grief because I was just like, I can't escape what I'm being called for. I can't escape it, and I'm sad. The depression phase was a long time, a really long time. And it was on and off. Like, I cycled through these for years and years and years. And then came acceptance. And that was the moment where I said, I am fully committed and convicted of what it is that I am building in this material world. And that's when I started to say, there can be nothing but, and this is recent for me. This is recent where I fully committed and I could not, and I became allergic to everything that's misaligned to what God has called for me to do. Alignment is building with structural integrity. it's building with sustainability in mind. And I just want you to remember that this is beyond you. It really is. It's beyond you. It's more than what you've bargained for, because I know a lot of us receive this vision in survival mindset. We think like, oh, I'm gonna make a lot of money. I'm gonna be able to like buy whatever I want. No. Wealth is a natural byproduct of alignment, but your alignment is your impact, and your impact is big. To all the listeners who are in the acceptance phase, where you are saying to yourself that there can be nothing but, your next step is to DM me so that we can begin our co-creative partnership to bring alignment to your leadership as a founder, and also to the brand that you're launching or scaling. Anyways, I thank you for stopping by for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter down below, Letters from My Living Room. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click the bell to be notified when I upload next. Anyways, I thank you for stopping by. I hope this video sticks with you, and you remember there could be nothing but the vision, nothing but what is aligned for you in this vision that God has given you. I thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.